There comes a moment in life when the people you raised, the ones you held through sleepless nights and cheered for at every milestone, seem to have forgotten where they came from. You're no longer the guiding star. Now you're sometimes seen as a footnote in their busy lives. They don't call as often. They interrupt. They question your choices. And slowly, something begins to ache. You've spent your whole life giving, only to feel invisible in return. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Trying to force respect rarely brings it back. What does? Small, but powerful shifts in how you carry yourself, in how you respond. Not react. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 6 key things you can do when your grown children begin to treat you with less care than you deserve. These aren't about guilt or confrontation. They're about quiet strength, the kind that speaks louder than lectures. Many parents, as they grow older, give up their sense of authority, not because they have to, but because they believe they must stay quiet to keep the peace. They bite their tongue, avoid conflict, and shrink themselves in their own home. But let me ask you this. Would you let a stranger speak to you with condescension? Would you allow a neighbor to dictate how you live your life? Of course not. So why accept it from your children? Reclaiming your authority doesn't mean becoming controlling. It means standing tall in who you are. Speak your truth calmly. Express your preferences. Say no when it matters. The more you own your voice, the more others will learn to listen. When emotions run high, it's tempting to lash out, to remind your children of all the sacrifices you've made. But here's something most people never realize. The calmest person in the room has the most power. Stillness is strength. Silence, when used with purpose, is a statement. Instead of arguing, respond with presence. Let your expression, your posture, your quiet dignity speak for you. You don't need to prove your worth. You've lived it. One woman I know, Linda, used to get into shouting matches with her daughter over the smallest things. Then one day, Linda simply stopped raising her voice. She'd pause, look her daughter in the eye, and say, "I'll talk when you're ready to listen." That one sentence changed everything. As parents, we pour so much into our children that we sometimes forget how to pour into ourselves. And when they pull away, busy with work, families, their own lives, we start to feel hollow, even desperate. But your worth isn't tied to their attention. Find joy that has nothing to do with their schedules. Pick up that hobby you always postponed. Travel, even if it's just to the park down the street. Read new books, meet new people, live a life so full that their presence is welcome, not required. Respect blooms when you no longer need others to make you feel whole. Action. 4. Draw the line with love. Let's be clear. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about drawing lines that protect your dignity. If your child makes sarcastic remarks, corrects you harshly, or speaks over you, it's time to speak up. Kindly but firmly. Try saying this. "I'm always here to talk, but I won't stay," in a conversation that doesn't feel respectful. Or, "I want a relationship where we both feel heard. Can we try again when we're both calm?" If they resist, that's okay. What matters is that you're no longer allowing disrespect to pass unchecked. Over time, your consistency will speak louder than any argument. We often think love means endless giving of money, time, support. But giving without appreciation is not love. It's enabling. If your children have come to expect help without ever saying thank you, it's not unkind to stop. It's wise. Start evaluating what you offer. Your time, your energy, even small favors. Ask yourself, is this appreciated or assumed? If the answer is the latter, take a step back. You're not closing the door. You're teaching them to knock before they enter. The greatest gift you can give yourself and your children is a life that doesn't orbit around them. When they see you engaged, active and joyful on your own terms, they will respect you not just as a parent, but as a whole person. A person with dreams, with value, with vibrance. One man I met, Henry, took up woodworking at 70. He turned his garage into a workshop, joined a local market, and began selling handmade pieces. His children, who once called him only out of duty, now visit just to see what he's building next. His passion pulled them back, not guilt, not obligation. So, ask yourself, what lights you up? Then chase that light, fiercely, proudly. Cannot force someone to respect you, but you can live in a way that demands it, not through volume, but through quiet strength. Not through guilt, but through self-worth. Stop chasing approval. Let your life speak louder than your words. Because the moment you stop waiting for them to change, and instead start changing how you show up, everything begins to shift. You deserve respect. Not just as a parent, but as a person. If you found this message meaningful, let us know in the comments which action spoke to you the most. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. We're here to support, uplift, and remind you of your worth every single step of the way. Thank you for watching. You're not alone, and your story still matters.